Today I want to talk about how to use a standard micrometer. Now here's a standard micrometer, and let's see if we can get a good look at that. The thing about a micrometer, and I know this is a very small one as opposed to this one, which is quite a bit bigger. You can see the sizes, but they read exactly the same. This one here, I believe, is a 1:6, and it only reads 1 inch. This is a 0 to 1, and it only reads 1 inch, so they read exactly the same. So to calibrate this little guy, I'm going to have to put my glasses on to see this. To calibrate this little guy, we just wheel him all the way in till the 0 point. Oops, reading on the wrong side. And it should zero when the 0 hits the 0. So here we are with the thimble. This is the thimble I'm using here, and I'm rotating around. As 0 touches there, when it's in gently, it's adjusted. Now, if that 0 doesn't touch, we have a little wrench in our toolkit that we can hook into here and adjust it to get it to 0 out. Now, on the bigger ones, we have to use a standard. So we will hold a standard in place and close the micrometer, and it should 0 out. If not, we can do the same adjustment. So that's how we adjust these. And they come in all shapes and sizes. Here is a 3 to 4. So the trick is to be able to learn how to use these. And a machinist showed me that I should be able to hold that, I don't know if you can see that, in my hand and do my adjustments, which I can. So simple enough, we do our adjustments. Just get this pen here. Not quite enough. There we go. Now we do our adjustments. Good. And we hit the lock. And that would better go the right way. That will stop it. Now we can prepare to read the micrometer. So we're going to put this down, because this is awfully small and hard to deal with. And look at my big exact replica of this micrometer on the board. But I have color, so it's much better. So the frame is what I was holding on to. The anvil and the spindle. Let's get a bigger one here. So we got our spindle, and it touches our anvil when it's zeroed out. So we have the sleeve reading, and that's where all the magic's going to take place here, because on this sleeve, it basically says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to explain to you what all these increments are. So the first thing we got to know is it a 4 to 5, 0 to 1, a 5 to 6? So let's say it's a 3 to 4 inch micrometer. So we, regardless of where we go, we're going to start with a 3. And then our next measurement is going to be, we're going to start looking at this thimble, and this thimble winds in. It's on a very special thread, machine thread, so 1 full revolution is 25 thousandths of an inch. So I'll just draw that one. 25 thousandths of an inch. 1 full revolution. So if I was to bring this micrometer all the way down to 0 and wind this around, you can see where it gets to 24. When it gets, well, go up here. Once we get to 24, it goes back to 1, because anything between 0 and here is 24. This line here represents 0.025, as I said. So if you start at 0 and you go to the first line, you're at 0.025. The second line, you're going to add 0.025, because you're at 0.50. 0.05. And the next one, of course, is going to be 0.075, and on to the next one. Now let's say we are working in there, and our micrometer has come to this point. So we have 3 lines below. We're going to have to look what this one's at. So I've missed one part that I'm going to back up a little bit and show you here. So what we have to do is look at where our thimble is at. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These represent 100. Okay, each of these is 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. As I said here, the increments in between are 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 100. So once we get to there, then we'll start counting 1.125, 0.150, and it will count up. Now, so we can quickly look and say, okay, we're at 7. So let's erase this. So we're at 7 right now. 7. Okay. And now I'm going to look at how many increments I have that I can see. So here's my line. I can see 2. So they're 0.025 each. So that's 0.50. That's all I can do on the spindle. Now I have to look at the thimble and look where it's at. And it's at 4. So that's 0.004. So this only goes up to 24. 25 is there. Then it goes up to 24, 50. Up to 24, 75. So these are all, as I said, 0.025. All of these small increments. And then we move to the bigger increments that are 100. So we have got 700,000 or 700 thousandths of an inch, 50 thousandths of an inch, 4 thousandths of an inch. So we add them together, 4, 5, and 7. Now I erased what size micrometer we started with, which was a 3 to 4. So this measurement is somewhere between 3 and 4. So we know it's 3, so we will put the 3 there. So this measurement I've drawn you is 3.754. So and this represents thousandths of an inch. So that's how you read a standard micrometer. We can wind this in, and let's just practice one more. We'll just randomly cover it up. Let's go right there. Okay, the biggest one, I can't see the line for the 3, so it doesn't count. So the biggest one I can see is the 2. 200. I'm using my wrong arm here. So how many lines after the 2? 3. So that's 0.075. Now I go look at the spindle to see where it ended up, and it ended up 0.04. 0.04. So we got 972. This was a 3-inch micrometer, so we got to put the 3 in front. My decimal spot in the right spot. So we got 3.279 thousandths of an inch. That's how you read a standard micrometer. I hope that was helpful for you. All it takes is a little bit of practice. If you go through these a couple of times, it works the same way. Just remember, each small increment between the 0 and the 1 is worth 0.025. Each large increment on the top of the sleeve is worth 100. 0.100. And then anything in here is going to be, anything below 10 is going to be 0.009, and at 10 it's going to be 0.010. And it's going to go up from there. Once you get past 24, you've just passed the next. I hope you found this helpful.